Yes. How are you feeling today, Ren?
I'm feeling really good. I feel like I've been feeling so much love from our viewers. Like when I go out, I always meet people, like always the big about sun up and everything. Also, making rants up. Guys, I feel like the camera really give me like a pungs, because when people see me in person, they're like, oh, you're so tiny. You're so tiny. And I'm actually 5'1". Okay, guys, and I'm not that big, but the camera, I wear big clothes.
So imagine if you were in that water with that shark.
Oh yeah, because we do have a shark to talk about.
We do have a shark to talk about.
We talked about a crocodile, we talked about a shark. I feel like Belize, our animals, they go up on wild, and they go through all these frenzy.
Yeah, I'm just saying you being 5'1". I mean, that shark was 5 feet.
People think that I'm 4'9", like Angel, but anyways.
That's true. An inch makes a difference.
First of all, it's more than an inch because...
I'm just saying an inch makes a difference.
I just want you to...
But it's Friday, we're here, Ren, and it's good to hear this space with you. So let's get started with our couch conversation.
Yes, let's get started with our couch conversation. A lot is happening on the scene, guys. So we were talking, we didn't say any names because the kids are not calling no names. And finally, guys, we have the name. I'm sure everybody was speculating. There were a lot of media houses speculating. And finally, we know it is been deemed that the person that is in question, a North American woman that they're wondering about the whole alleged hit and everything, is revealed as Miss Jasmine Hartin. And so she has been taken in for questioning yesterday. She was taken in from Kikaka. The overall idea that's happening when it comes to that situation from when Compa was talking is how right now they're still doing the investigation. The only thing that they said at least they would know is there have been talks. So there has been speculations of talks right now. That's all they kind of like affirmatively know. But for the most part, they're still diving into seeing if anything actually happened, actually materialized. But I know I was seeing a lot of viewers comment too as well and say that's how it started, you just talk and say something or whatever, and then you back up your chats and stuff.
I hear you. So while Jasmine was getting questioned, she said that this is just somebody trying to get back at her. And the person that's trying to get back at her, his name is Lionel Piggy Neal.
Yes.
So apparently this guy is his caretaker, is her caretaker, who, according to her, like in her statement, he has sexually assaulted her, he has extorted her, and all these things, and basically she's not giving in. So this guy, in a way of getting back at her, he went and he informed them that there's a hit happening, a hit place
that she's
on
been
the
like organizing a hit against them. But what is also interesting, because Piggy has a different story too, like that. You know how they lead drama thing that like a soap opera? Piggy, they say how that, well, he would consider himself her common law because they've been living together for 7 months, and how the whole thing is like he wouldn't consider it rape because they're lovers. Like he said that, all of that's happening too as well. And it's just crazy because, she's been saying how, like you said, he assaulted her, tried to break her nose, all these things. And then he's saying on his end, he's seen her use certain substances and talk about, she would have wished blank would have all die and all these different things. So this our situation gone very sour, very quick. Of course, we don't know the definite substance of what's happening. The evidence is not there as yet. This alone, he said, she said, business. Piggy, they said one thing. Jasmine, they said the next thing or so. But again, obviously you can see there's going to be truth in all of this, but I'll find the truth. There's going to be investigations. I know Compulsal, they're working right now very diligently to make sure that they find out what's happening.
Yeah, so it's a story that you do not want to miss. Continue watching Channel 7 because we're going to be continuing bringing the scoop here on that Jasmine story.
Definitely.
It just keeps on evolving. I
tell you, like, one person that said this thing, one next person that said this, I'm like, I want to see the concrete evidence because I always go and say, you say a million and one things, Kev, but if I don't have any substantial proof, anything documented or so, it's your word against mine. So it's always that to think about too.
Yeah, and then like she's on that sensitive spot where whatever she says, she's walking on eggshells. So anything can affect the situation where she's charged by manslaughter of police officer Jamot. So all the speculations, are on her. So we have yet to see how this will affect her case.
This is not looking good in her favor too as well because, again, it's showing what's happening on the scene here, what's been, all kind of alleged things happening. Again, we have no concrete evidence. As Compa, you can go and check back the the interview. You can go check back the interview on Channel 7's page as always, where Compal said how that right now at this present moment, we're just on the ends of knowing that, words were exchanged, that some sort of words were exchanged about something like this. But concrete after that, they don't have it as yet, but they're investigating.
Yeah.
So, something that does not need to get investigated because there were 5 witnesses along with the person that experienced this shark attack.
Okay.
So, we had the crocodile attack.
How the Jaws tune goes?
I don't know. Shanta, none of us want to get a Jaws effect for women. Like,
we should have
I want to tell the story the right way, guys. Come on now, because it's like a whole drama.
I don't know. But yeah.
So let me go into the story.
Yeah.
So there was a fisherman. Can you please get his name for me?
I'll get it.
Please, thank you, darling.
Yeah.
So yes, he was apparently attacked by a shark by Turnif. Well, the story is what really happened was, as he was fishing, he had the fish in a hand.
Yeah,
the fish in a hand and a 5 foot. And so guys, let's kind of like go into context here where we're looking at, the measurements. I am 5'1". So this shot just a little bit shorter than me.
His name is Brian Bradley.
Thank you for that. So Mr. Brian Bradley, he had the fish in his hand and this 5 foot shark out of nowhere come and just like bite the fish from her. And it was crazy because for 20 minutes he did battle with this fish. I feel like, what I have to appreciate is these people, not just take it like that. They're just like, I got it. No,
this is not my fish. No, this is mine.
I don't think he was fighting for the fish, Kev. I think he was fighting for his life.
I was like, this is my fish. I work hard for this.
But yes, he was fighting. His friends were there. When he finally got, released from it for 20 minutes, that whole huckabuckle, whatever it is that's happening, his friends rushed him. He was escorted to the KHMH hospital, and right now he's in a stable condition. But I'm just like, man, shark attack, crocodile attack. I'm praying for a safe recovery and everything. I know he's in a stable condition, but
stable condition. Like, he did not lose his hand, which is
God.
good. But then again, Ren, I'm thinking of. Did not specify the area where they're fishing, but we know
in the area by Turnif. There wasn't
right. However, what we've seen that is common when it comes to like a tourist attraction is the fact that there's different tourists that would go and then they would feed sharks to bring them over so that the tourists can engage with them, right? So one of the things that came from that crocodile attack and this one as well from the Department of the Environment is that we have to be really mindful of that thin line when it comes to feeding sharks and getting normalized to people, and the fact that once they see bait and stuff in the area, they would come. While there's the fact that people are spearfishing, and of course the shark will go and take advantage that the fish is readily available. So we have to be really mindful that how we have transformed the behavior of these sharks in certain spaces. So if you know that you are going to like a touristy area where sharks are used to this behavior, we really would advise you not to go spearfishing there, because you might just be one of those unlucky folks that gets attacked by a shark.
Definitely.
And shark attacks are pretty rare in Belize. We have to say this. I mean, in the time we've been here, which tomorrow makes it 11 months that Sun Up on 7 is airing,
oh, wow.
right? We have not reported a shark attack. So, a lot of people are saying, oh, shark attack, but it's not as common as you think, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know when I was speaking to my uncle last week, talking about the same crocodile attack, he was just like, I'm getting kind of tired and bombarded with the fact that, all of these animals keep coming in and infringing on our space. And I'm like, well, technically we're infringing on their space too as well. And so we kind of have to live in this harmony with each other and everything. And he's like, but at the same time, your children aren't as safe. And so sometimes the way how we're governing and all the policies that we're trying to push on and try to make these regulations or so, he's like, we have to take into consideration to our people and their well-being and so forth. So it's like a really interesting conversation when you try to think about biodiversity and seeing how we can be able to have that harmony in the environment. Because like I was telling him, most of the times, like when you think about the crocodiles and stuff, you know why they're in a new location? Because we've been building on their habitat. So they're pushed out of their location. So they're finding new places to breed and to be able to just like sunbathe and all these stuff, because we, again, went and infringed on their habitat. But, there's a lot of ways we can look at it, because I can see the truth in what he's saying. Like, there's this fear now where like, where do you go? Is it safe for me as well? Because it just might be that somebody else was feeding a shark or somebody else, and I get the bad end of the stick. And so all of these things take into consideration. I think it's an important conversation we should be having, being very mindful of our environment, understanding, we need to cohabitate. we need to be able to like
Right.
bring this whole peace and harmony and respect animals as well as have them respect us too as well.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, which is why there's like a very protected areas play a very important role in ensuring that biodiversity spaces are kept intact.
Yeah.
Outside of human interaction, outside of like human development.
Yeah.
Because then they have that space to be, right? So designated areas where reserves are very, very, very important for us to reduce that human and wildlife conflict. I mean, we see terrestrially where we're seeing cattle farmers saying that their cattle are being attacked by jaguars. But again, goes back to what you're saying. We're doing mass deforestation to build cattle ranches, and of course, jaguars, they have a very large territorial area. So if you like go and you like do like deforestation, then you reduce their food supply, you reduce their area where they can move. So we have to be moving consciously, and of course that's why there's all these regulations that protect wildlife, that protect our human interaction. And of course, if you do not know how to go about and cohabitate with these different wildlife, there's different research institutes like the Crocodile Research Coalition, there's the Pantera, there's the Environmental Research Institute, there's the Belize Zoo, there's the Forest Department. All of these agencies are there to give you ways and guidance into how can we live harmoniously, but also if you ever come into conflict, what is the best way for you to address that situation?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I know you made a rightful point. There are reservations. There are places that, were protected areas. These are the areas where you would normally find these animals, and you need to stay away from that. And I think, my uncle was trying to hint at the fact that there are some areas where the animals just end up to come by. And so if you do see an animal, just be mindful of that. I know, like, whether they swim or whether they do anything, we're not naturally just to think, oh, maybe a crocodile come, oh, maybe a shark come, or whatever it is. Like, no one's naturally in their mind like that. Some people are mindful, but not everybody. Think about that 5-year-old, that 10-year-old. You think they're mindful? They just play in that water and they just want to make that freshness come from them.
Right.
So,
well, that's why they're a good company of an adult.
exactly, but just the idea, like, if you see an animal that is in a place that you're not necessarily used to having them in, this is where you make the necessary calls and say, okay, we have a crocodile here, we have a shark out here. Can you guys be able to assist us? Can you let the word get out or something? Tell people. I was at Buttonwood Bay Park the other day. Phil and I were eating something, like some lunch or whatever, and a crocodile was right by us. And so the gentleman, he was walking by and he saw the crocodile, he told us. So, like, also that is a way you be a good neighbor. Mm-hmm. You go and say, okay, sir, mom, or whatever it is, I can see a crocodile by this area. I can see an animal that, can't be dangerous to you. Let me just let you know that 411, if you choose to stay there, that's your business. If you choose to move, that's your business.
Yeah.
So.
And just respect. Oh, you stay there, I stay here, you sun out, I'm gonna enjoy my lunch.
No, I don't move. I don't sun out. No, because I'm eating too as well. So you think about that too as well. So that the very slippery slope where my food could actually draw him closer to me. You know, you be cautious.
You watch too much movies.
No, I just want to talk about how we're not supposed to feed these animals, and I eat one nice burger, and this crocodile must smell that chicken and be like, I don't had chicken a long time.
No, or maybe the crocodile will be like, Renata smells better than this burger.
You're not helping the chicken out there.
Joking.
You're not helping the chicken out there. But definitely, guys, it's good to be mindful. Move from these areas, make the necessary calls, make people know that, I've seen an animal in this area. What can I do? What can you do? Help me out here.
Yeah, right. And moving on to our last topic here on Couch Talk, the Ministry of Health did a press release recently, as of yesterday, stating that there has been an increase in the positivity rate of COVID, and notably the most predominant COVID variant is COVID BA2. So it's presenting with symptoms as regards to sore throat, sinusitis, so that would be coughing, congestion, headaches, and some body aches. And of course, the district that has the highest positivity rate and the highest number of COVID cases is Belize district. Yeah. I mean, it's the most populated district that we have, and overcrowded spaces as well, so we can see how easily it can be transmitted, and then followed by the Cayo district. So the Ministry of Health advises everybody to do their necessary preventions for them to stay protected from COVID. Because they were asked, Charisse asked Dr. Diaz, who's the regional manager for Central Health Region, if she felt that the regulations were moved too quickly. And then she said no. She was like, everything moved and went at the time when it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And she was saying the Ministry of Health has provided the necessary tools and the necessary information for everybody to have an awareness as to what you need to do to protect yourself. So there's testing going on, there's vaccination going on, there's contact tracing happening, and of course, the information out there and updates is what's happening with COVID. So it's really like there's no excuse I can say. So we just gotta do our best to stay protected from COVID.
Definitely. And remember, guys, like you said something so rightful the other day. You're like, I take my vitamins. So just like the same bush medicine when I always take the same vitamins, get your solid hours of sleep. Like the basic health and taking care of yourself, your well-being is what really helps you to not be able to be as susceptible to COVID and all. It's a virus. Yes, we understand that, but I take it, and I'm not saying it's, definitely the symptoms as compared to flu, they're very similar or everything, but, COVID make you go into the hospital bed and so forth, etc., etc. I mean, flu can do that too as well.
Yeah.
But for me, I look at it's a natural thing where you just have to take care of yourself when this thing comes. Make sure, you do what you need to do. Also, for people out there, like I've been to some meetings in this week. I put on my mask when I'm in a wide space or so. If I'm in AC, I put on my mask, and so because I know the air is not really like flowing properly. If I am on the bus, I try my best to put on my mask or whatever it is. But if I'm sitting by myself, then I will scoop up to the side and I'll be okay. But just a little thing here. You don't have to wear a mask every 24/7 all day long, because I know it's uncomfortable and you're kind of over that idea. But when you're you're in big crowds and you're going into a store, you're doing stuff and you're gonna have to touch stuff, wash your hands, guys. Wear your mask. Just be very mindful. When you're around people. If you see somebody cough and sneeze, not shun it out, but just be mindful. Like I'm a head out. I'm gonna take a little space from that person or everything. Or maybe ask them, could you wear a mask? Or ask them, would you mind wearing a mask for other people around there? I mean, I don't think that is in any way being disrespectful, but you're taking care of other people around you.
Yeah. What we're also seeing is that there has been quite some dashing out happening since the regulations were removed. So there has been a lot of parties going on, and we can definitely see a lot of crowded spaces and people just being maskless, and there's absolutely no physical distance. So for persons that are organizing these events as well, it's advised to remind your attendees that COVID is there. At some point, Demi Williams was here on set, and she shared her experience when she went to Miami, where persons had to get a test prior to going into the event. I'm not sure how feasible that is in the country, given that the cost of getting a test, right? However, if you can start thinking about those things, because of course, yes, you're making the money because people are coming to your event, but at the same time, think about the health consequences that you're doing, because you're forming a cluster there. You have no idea who's positive, and then they go back to these to their regular spaces. There was a Teachers' Day event that happened at Old Belize, and if you saw those videos, like they were maskless and just enjoying the time on that stage. And then a week later, I am seeing reports of teachers saying that they are turning out positive, right? So I mean, it's really a thin line. How can we prevent it? I mean, we know how we can prevent it, but, going back to a normalcy, trying to enjoy ourselves, but just this consciousness.
Just being conscious and being cautious as well. Like, nothing wrong with if you're in a big area wearing your mask. There's nothing wrong with that. I get that we want to have good, clean fun, but just remember too, as well, people cough upon you, sweat upon you, sneeze, all kind of things will happen, and that alone fluids they pass right into. Don't you think about hygiene? So don't even think about COVID, think about hygiene.
Hygiene.
Yeah.
I
feel like COVID opened everybody's eyes to the hygiene.
Yes, like on the buses, they do not spray your hand anymore. No. I used to love that when you go to every bus stop, like they would ask you to come out so that they sanitize the buses again. I'm like, what happened to that, right? What happened to
even in our stores, when you go in our stores, you have to take it on yourself to go and sanitize. They
that's
still
fine.
have to sanitize.
At least there's that, right? But at least there's the option where you can go and sanitize yourself. But in the bus, there's none. I mean, so if you do not walk with your hand sanitizer, then
let that you and your business there.
Everything.
You just spread it up around people. So guys, again, not
cool.
pushing you to wear it everywhere you go, but just be mindful of your surroundings, where you are. If you eat and you're around somebody with a sneeze, honey bun, put on a mask and stop eat because that contamination too as well. Like just little things, and don't even think about it just as COVID, but the hygiene, guys. Let's think about hygiene. Let's think about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this space.
Yeah,
Make
right.
we
Thank
go
you
into
too.
our nitty-gritties of what's happening.
We have a
in
beautiful
Belize.
sunrise, I'm sure.
Yes, we always have a beautiful sunrise. I'm
So?
not sure who it's sent by.
There we go.
Oh, that is so pretty. You know, I like it. This could be a painting
Who do you
again.
think submitted this? It has a particular...
Jules?
Yes, this is a Jules.
Man, Jules. I feel like
Jules.
Jules gets